guys, and welcome to Classic Rock Country Music Facts and Trivia. Thank you for stopping by. Today's video is on 7 country artists who have been charged with felonies. Start with Mindy McCready, prescription drug fraud. Mindy McCready was arrested in Nashville in August of 2004 on charges that she used a false prescription to obtain Oxycontin. The incident would begin, or maybe continue, a decade-long spiral that ended with her death by suicide in February of 2013. While the guys do it all the time singer would only be sentenced to probation, a fine, and community service, this incident would be the first of several that required a judge. Between 2004 and 2008, she'd be charged with DUI, driving under a suspended license, identity theft, violating her probation, battery, and more. She was jailed in 2007 and 2008. This one's a wild one, guys. Fay Coolie, first-degree murder. This is Fay Coolie with his wife, Ella Mae Coolie, in June of 51. In March of 61, he killed her after she asked for a divorce. This is without a doubt country music's most grisly crime. The couple's teenage daughter was forced witness to Coolie's attack on Ella Mae, but he claimed she slipped in the shower. Cops and the judge didn't buy it. In August of 61, he was sentenced to life in prison after being found guilty of first-degree murder. It's when the story gets even stranger. He was eligible for parole after just 7 years, and he got it. California Governor Ronald Reagan lobbied for the singer's release effective February of 1970. Coolie never tasted freedom, however, after the decision made, but before it took effect, he died of a heart attack. Coolie was scheduled for parole on February 22nd of 1970, but was granted a temporary furlough to perform a charity concert on November 23rd of 69. He suffered a massive heart attack and died backstage at the event. Jelly Roll, aggravated robbery. Save Me singer Jelly Roll was charged with a felony when he was 16 years old, and even though his story of redemption is inspiring, he still lives with the consequences. Talking to Joe Rogan, he described robbing 2 men for marijuana. He had a gun, so he was charged as an adult. He'd spend much of the next decade in jail for this crime and others, but says he regrets it every single day of his life. These days, can't get life insurance and struggles to get homeowners insurance, but he gives back to juveniles in jail at every opportunity. Jeff Bates, grand theft and drug possession. Jeff Bates was admittedly addicted to methamphetamine when he was arrested in March of 2001. He later tell the Tennessean that in 1999, a friend offered him the drug and he smoked it just to feel better. Over the next 18 months, meth was all he thought about. When money ran out, he began to steal, which led to his arrest. The story has a happy ending, however. After getting out of jail, Bates, the love song and Long Slow Kisses would become radio hits. At last check, he was living clean with his family. Merl Haggard, grand theft auto. Merl was a teenager when he committed his worst crimes. Throughout his life, he would talk about being sent and breaking out at various juvenile detention centers. That caught up to him in 1958 when he was sent to San Quentin for 2.5 years on burglary charges. There he'd see Johnny Cash play his famous San Quentin concert and turn his life around. Released his first single in 1962. Johnny Paycheck, felonious assault. Johnny Paycheck was in and out of jail for much of his adult life, but in the mid-'80s, felony charges for felonious assault stand out. He shot a man in the head and tried to say it was an accident. Newspaper reports at the time quote Paycheck as saying Larry Wise and another patron were bothering him at the bar in Ohio. He felt threatened and tried to shoot at the ceiling, but his thumb slipped on the weapon's hammer. The incident happened in late 1985, and he was found guilty of a lesser aggravated assault the following year. Appeals led to him not serving time until February of 1989, but his sentence would be commuted by the governor of Ohio in early 1991. David Allen Coe, tax evasion. In September of 2015, David Allen Coe pleaded guilty to 1 count of impeding and obstructing the IRS. While he faced up to 3 years in jail, the then 76-year-old was ordered to pay $980,000. The charge came from concerts performed between 2008 and 2013. He developed a cash-only policy for much of that time to avoid having to pay taxes. One quirk in the case is that Take This Job and Shove It hitmaker refused to accept $50 bills, believing them to be bad luck. Billy Currington, making terroristic threats and abuse of an elderly person. Excuse me again. In April 2013, A 70-year-old man named Charles Harvey Farrell accused singer Billy Currington of getting into a boat and following Farrell and passengers in his charter boat. He also alleged threatened to F Farrell up. One day after the incident, someone from Currington's property called police alleging that Farrell's boat passed Currington's property and nearly knocked someone, possibly Currington, into the water. Those charges didn't go very far, as the singer would be indicted and booked on April 25th that year. The incident ended quietly 5 months later when Currington pleaded no contest to the abuse of an elderly person charged. He pled not guilty in August. The terroristic threats charged was dropped, and the singer was ordered to pay $1,000, serve 5 years probation, and go to anger management counseling. And Morgan Wallen, reckless endangerment. On April 7th of this year, Morgan Wallen was charged with 3 felony counts of reckless endangerment after he allegedly threw a chair from the roof of Eric Church's downtown Nashville bar. The case is still pending, but if convicted, he could face 1 to 6 years in prison. Someone told me one time, said, the country stars couldn't keep up with the rock and roll stars and the party and lifestyle and being crazy. And the country's been crazy for a lot of years, and that's not a pat on the back for them. I mean, that's not a compliment. The country's been crazy for a lot of years, guys. and appears they get away with it, and that's the reason that they did. And that's just a sad thing about the country, I guess. Anyway, that's all I got for you. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Please don't forget about classic TV facts and trivia. It's on the Don Knotts Show and their last-ditch effort to save that variety show. Please don't forget to subscribe, and please like this video. I hope you had a great weekend. God bless. See you tomorrow. Be praying for you.